after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Tell me I didn't just see these first two possessions. I mean, is this one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do
better?
Maybe not better, huh?
Worse?
Yeah, just a little bit. Very sloppy start. I think maybe a case of the nerves for both teams.
And now we're back to an even playing field. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. He's got his tight end, Burton. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Vikings. Trey Burton, 34 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Matt Gay on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Jackson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Jackson now. On the crossing route, complete. That's Hardy. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
And the Vikings, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now Luck. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, did.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 14-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the 1st down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson complete over the middle to Hardy. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Justin Hardy's sort of an undersized guy at 5'10", but he runs physical and he runs tough. In fact, his teammates call him the Wolf because of his special teams play. How about that play right there? Nice job picking up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. So now we have Jackson slow to get back on his feet. Appears to be shaken up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Go, go.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls. 57. Mike, 57.
Play action. Now Jackson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. D Ford. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. To try again after the sack. Jackson over the middle, complete. It's Hardy. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll run with Sanders. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Miles Sanders with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards the pickup there.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. This will be caught at about the 6. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Me and you all day. I'm coming up.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Gay is on for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run.